Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Miss Franti. Thank you for having me. In this time, I'd like to present you about the coronavirus, also the impact in environmental aspect, especially for the air pollution. Let's start. So, first of all, we need to know about this coronavirus. What is it? So, coronavirus are a large family of viruses that cause illness ranging from the cold into more severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome (MERS) and severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS. So, how does this virus spread? As of now, researchers know that the new coronavirus can spread through droplets released into the air when an infected person cough or sneeze. The droplets generally do not travel more than a few feet, and they fall to the ground or onto surfaces in a few seconds. This is why social distancing and physical distancing is very effective in preventing the spreadness. So, how did the coronavirus spread to humans, or when exactly? So, COVID-19 appeared in Wuhan, apparently, a city located in China, in December 2019. Although the health officials are still tracing the exact source of this virus, early hypotheses thought it may be linked into the seafood market in Wuhan. Some people who visited this market developed viral pneumonia caused by the new coronavirus. A study came out on January 25, 2020, notes that the individual with the first reported case became ill on December 1st, 2019 and had no link to the seafood market. So it seems interesting for us to talk about. Next is, what is the incubation period or the symptoms in COVID-19? It appears that symptoms are showing up in 14 days of exposure to the virus. So during these 14 days, we'll probably get some symptoms including cough, fever, diarrhea, headache, sore throat, unexplained loss of taste or smell, muscle aches, shortness of breath, and so on and so forth. So in rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problems, and the worst case is death. So before we jump into our main topic about environmental aspects, I'll give some facts related to the coronavirus. So first, coronavirus are common in different animals. Rarely an animal coronavirus can infect humans, but until this video is made, only bat can infect it to the human, according to the researchers. Second is, there are many different kinds of coronaviruses. Some of them can only cause colds or other mild respiratory like nose, throat, or lung illnesses. Third is, other coronaviruses can cause more serious diseases, more than just cold, including severe acute respiratory syndrome and Middle East respiratory syndromes. The last but not least is, coronavirus are named for their appearance. So if we see it under the microscope, you will see pointed structures that surround them like a corona or means crown. So like this is the picture of a corona from a microscope, and let's get it. So in this moment I would like to tell you about my opinions, also facts about this coronavirus's implication towards an environmental aspect. Especially what I'm going to highlight is about the phenomenon where the air quality is gradually better day by day because of this virus. Well, obviously it's a good news for us, right? At least for now. Compared to the same period in the New York, air pollution levels have decreased by almost 50%. In China, emission levels were reduced by 25% at the beginning of the year when people were ordered to stay at home. The proportion of days with good air quality rose 11.4% compared to the same time last year. In Europe, satellite imagery shows nitrogen dioxide emissions fading over northern Italy. The same phenomenon also occurs in Spain and England. As it turns out, only sudden and existential threats like COVID-19 can make such a huge and rapid impacts to Earth. It's ironic that a global pandemic that has claimed many human lives should not be seen as a way to improve the environment. One thing for sure, it's unclear how long the reduction in emissions and pollution will last. Maybe forever, maybe temporary. When the severity of the pandemic decreases, will carbon emission and pollutants bounce back into the earth, or the changes we feel now can last forever? I doubt that, personally. The first thing to consider is that there are some reasons behind this behind the falling down of the emission levels. The first cause is transportation. It contributes over 23% of total global carbon emissions. Carbon emissions due to the transportations are seen to be falling in countries that restrict the movement of citizens as a policy, such as lockdowns. Driving and aviation are the main contributors of emissions from transportation, which is 72% and 11% of greenhouse gases and emissions. Note that driving and aviation are usually used for traveling all around the world, and this is what will we discuss that later. During the pandemic and travel reductions still occur, this emissions rate is certain to remain low. But what happens when the restriction is lifted or erased by the government? If changes due to the pandemic continue after the outbreak is over, hopefully, emission levels can remain low, but the opposite can also happen. It could also be that people postpone the long distance travel, but then to do it after the pandemic is over. This results to the surprising increase of air pollution after the pandemic is over. So, can you imagine that there are so many people who are staying at home right now? They may be feel bored. Obviously, I also feel bored and tired of having quarantine in our house. We need to get out, or at least get some fresh air. So this may be the reason why they will travel around the world because of this reason. Those who travel frequently contribute the most carbon footprint, so emission levels can return to soar if these people return to their old habits. It's traveling. What I imagine, when this pandemic is over, there will be a huge amount of tourists willing to get out of their house and go all around the world. I am sure that the good news we told before may just a temporary good news, because soon the pollution will continue airing on our earth, as same as before pandemic attacks us, or even worse than before. So now is the last section of our discussion. In conclusion, we as the leaders of the world should start reflecting ourselves about what we have to do to repair our planet without making it sick. Coronavirus is a form of self-heal made by the earth. And to be honest, the consequences are quite big for us. Many disasters and catastrophe threatening our humanity existence. However, it has been successfully make our world environment better from before, instantly. In short, coronavirus is symbolized as a two-edged knife. It brings fear and danger toward us, but it also cures our world effectively. So, in my opinion, we as humans should start manage and mind about what actions we need to at least minimize the damage we make to the earth, so that in the future there will be no painful healing which is made by our earth. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry if there's some mistakes I made in making this video. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.